This video was recorded in front of a live virtual audience. Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today we got Drama Mama from the luxury community, obviously. Louis, what are you up to, Mr. Louis Vuitton? Now, let me tell you, Claire Banks, my dear, can you come in, please? Hello, darling. Hello, sweetie, darling. This is Claire Banks, a lovely YouTuber, talks about luxury and loves Louis Vuitton. I shall post a link to Claire's channel in the description box underneath my video. Be sure to subscribe to her channel and send her some love. Now, Claire posted a video. Let me read to you the title. Louis Vuitton lost my bag and unboxing gone wrong. So I watched the video, and I was just as the video progressed, I was just like, so Claire mentioned one thing going wrong, and I was like, oh yeah, that can happen. And then she added another, but then this on top of that went wrong, and I was like, oh, well, that can happen too, but less, more seldomly. And then she said, and then on top of that, this happened, and I was like, oh yeah, that shouldn't happen. And then on top of this happened, and I was like, oh, okay, now I gotta make a video about this because this is insane. So thank you so much, Claire. Let's get into the video. And I will post the link to this specific video that I mentioned in the description box down below. So be sure to go and check out Claire's video. Hi, Claire, by the way. Hope you're watching. So listen. Okay, so Claire, she bought a bag, the on-the-go Louis Vuitton bag. Now, I can post it here. Oh, subscribe to my channel, by the way. This thing just popped up. Subscribe to my channel. Go subscribe to Claire's channel, but while you're here, why not subscribe to mine as well? And thumb up this video if you're liking it thus far. Be sure to push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob all spelled together. Gain access to extra perks there as well. I'm filming this video live. I live stream every Saturday. Everybody's more than welcome to join in to the fun, into the live chat. So I have all my live co-chatters with me on the sidebar right here next to my video. So I'm reading the comments right now. So let's get to this video together. Claire purchased the on-the-go Louis Vuitton bag. So let me show it to y'all. Okay, so by the way, Claire, I also noticed, has this incredible painting. It seems like a painting, you guys. It's a painting of the timeless classic Chanel bag in the back, and it looks really beautiful, the painting. And then I am loving this little butt vase over, like, Claire is fun, you guys. I really enjoyed the video. Even though I'm sad that she had to go through the suffering that she had to go through with this bag. What an ordeal. We're going to get to it right now. But I wonder, Claire, I didn't watch all of Claire's videos, so I wonder if she ever spoke about this bag. I wonder if she painted it or if she bought it somewhere. But anyway, it's a big painting of a Chanel bag. So anyway, this is the on-the-go Louis Vuitton bag that she purchased. And we're having an issue with this bag because she stated that shortly after purchasing this bag and using this bag, she noticed that the straps, which she's holding up here, there you have them, these straps, the glaze, now she doesn't call it glazing, she calls it edge coating. Well, the edge coating is actually glazing. But so the glazing on these straps started chipping off, breaking. You guys, I always tell you, don't buy bags that have glazing on them. Except, Hermes kind of does a good job. My Hermes crop does have glazing here on the side. And this thing is 11 years old, so it has a little bit of kind of the wax sealing on top of it chips off, but glazing didn't chip. But mass-produced product like Louis Vuitton bags, you best believe a glazing is going to chip. So she noticed that. Now, I think she mentioned in her video that she was also traveling, and she encountered another lady who asked her, hey, yeah, it's like, yeah, typical for these things the glazing to chip, but did you notice your interior, the interior of the bag, is that ripping or breaking as well? Are there issues with it as well? She said she didn't really notice that, but she did notice the glazing. Now, what is also very important to notice is, of course, she had a green version of this bag, and the strap you see, has the pattern on it. It is made in canvas, and then it has the glazing on the side. So that's the interior strap of the bag. She took the bag back to Louis because it was still covered by warranty. And apparently, this seems to be one of those issues that Louis has with these bags. So it's not like something that is not typical. It's not just a flaw. It's not like just she had bad luck with this particular batch. No, apparently it's something, they just went cheap on these bags, produced them quickly. You know, glazing is always something you can kind of, do, but not do so well. So she takes it back to Louis. Louis accepts the return. Well, not the return, accepts a repair. So they say, we're going to send the bag off for repairs. It should be back in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. Now, at this point, let me read my notes. Although she did mention one thing, and I'm like, Claire, that should not have happened. Claire loves kittens and cats. And she did mention that her kittens did chew the sides of the bag, like the little corners of the bag. They were kind of chewing on it, but she said she did not return that bag for that issue. The kittens did not chew the straps, okay? So anyway, the kittens were teething and they liked to chew the Louis Vuitton bag. It is rubber after all, darling. So here we go. She took it to Louis Vuitton for repairs. They said it would take 3 months. After 4 months, she still got no news. Now, she goes to Louis Vuitton to ask what is wrong after 4 months, right? The sales associate says they cannot find her in the system. And here, you see, so this is what I was saying at the beginning of the video. I said it at the beginning of the video, glazing issues can happen. And I, at the beginning of her video, I was like, yeah, girl, glazing, that it can happen. We can have problems with glazing. But then when she said, but they couldn't find me in the system. So after 3 months, no news. After 4 months, no news. She goes back to the boutique and asks, what gives? And they're like, what gives what, girl? We don't have you in the system. She's like, what do you mean you have my bag? So it took them then 15 minutes. They left her. They said, oh, hold on, let me look in the back. And they always have one in the back. And they found the bag under repairs, but not under her profile. So they misplaced the way that they're treating this bag. So they did not connect the bag to her name at all. It was just a repair without any name, which is super bizarre. So they notice that the bag is still not there. It's still not ready. They still don't have the bag. And they say, okay, go back home. It's going to take a total of 6 months, not 3 or 4 as originally stated. So she's at this point disappointed, to say the least, because it's like, okay, what gives? I got to go back home now, wait for it some more. Time passes. August arrives. She does get a phone call from some sales associate at Louis Vuitton. Says, come back in. Your bag is ready. Allegedly. She did not get an email confirmation, however. So Claire goes back to Louis Vuitton after having received a phone call. She arrives to the boutique. She didn't get an email confirmation, though. And the store manager or somebody who was working there asks her, oh, why are you here? She's like, well, for my bag. They're like, well, where's your email confirmation? She's like, I didn't get an email confirmation. You called me. Then the Louis Vuitton boutique had the nerve to be like, oh, who called you? Can we see the number that called you? She shows the number that called her. The sales assistant or store manager she was talking to then goes to check and comes back and says, oh, yeah, okay, I see that this was our service phone, working phone, whatever. We see that the phone call was made. Could you imagine the feeling you have as a customer to have somebody say something like that to you? Like, wait, are you double checking? Are you trying to say that I lied about the phone call? Like, wow. And even if they were not implying that she lied about the phone call, just the nerve to not even knowing how to deliver it properly and professionally to the customer. You don't convey something like that to a customer. You don't make them feel like they gotta justify themselves as if like you think that they're lying. So anyway, they said, yes, the phone call actually did happen, but the person that called you is not here at the moment. So the sales associate that informed you about this bag being here allegedly is not here. And also the bag is not here either. So could you imagine about that? So basically, what did they tell her? So they said to come again in a few weeks because they believe the bag would still need more time to get repaired in California. So Claire at this point explains to us that she lives 45 minutes away from the Louis Vuitton boutique. So it's not something so simple for her just to like, okay, sure, let me just pass by every week or two and, you know, just like knock on the door. Hey guys, is my bag there, by the way? Like she has to plan this, moving from A to B to get to the Louis Vuitton boutique. So Claire is called again to come back to Boca Raton, to the Louis Vuitton boutique. And she drives there, and again, they don't have the bag. So she at this point asks to speak with the manager. So the manager has no clue what is going on. The drama of it all. So the manager doesn't know what is going on. And at this point, Claire wants a new bag. She's like, hey, you guys, you can't do this. This is taking way too long. The bag is obviously not coming. Where the repair? What repairs? After so many months, like, it's repairing the handles. Like, how difficult can it be, right? So 2 days later, she gets a new bag. Now, but first and foremost, the store manager agreed and said, okay, fine, we'll give you a new bag, but I don't have the bag you want in stock at the moment. Claire said, okay, I'll wait for it to come in stock. 2 days later, she gets a phone call, allegedly, right? She gets a new bag. They wrapped it up for her. So when she arrived to the boutique, she received a box. She didn't look into the box. She didn't inspect the bag. So she got the bag she got. I think they told her you're going to get the brown version, or she wanted the brown version instead of the green one this time around. So let me cue in the next photo. You can see, wait, this is again the glazing. This is the bag she got 2 days later. So she liked the brown version. I also prefer the brown version to the green one, honestly, because, you know, it's more, you know, it's our old school Louis, right? We love our brown Louis, ton sur ton Louis. And she's unboxing the bag in this video now, telling us, ta-da, she opens the box. Her little kitten was there next to her, and she said, oh, look, the kitten wants to go into the box. I want the bag. The cat wants the box. Everybody happy. It was a cute little moment. And she unboxes the bag, and she notices that now the strap is leather, because Louis Vuitton has obviously, probably, allegedly had so many issues with the canvas strap and the glazing chipping off, so that now they made it out of leather. However, she thought that the leather would be brown. Instead, it seems as though Louis used whatever leather they had left over, and it happened to be black, so they made the strap black, which doesn't go at all with the bag. Not at all. But she said she can kind of live with it because it is what it is. That's how they manufacture these bags now. This is the updated version of the bag. Maybe she also said that the green one was not in production anymore, so they could only give her the brown one. But anyway, she accepted the brown one, but then when she saw that the strap was black, she's like, oh my gosh. Now, to be fair with Claire, you know, people could say, oh my God, first world problems. No, she does mention this in her video. She says, you guys, I sound like a spoiled brat now, never happy with this. But I don't think she's a spoiled brat. I think Claire was totally in the right to be upset about this, because the drama doesn't end here, you guys. As she's inspecting the bag, she notices that the stitches, so basically we're talking here, like this part of the bag, like this part, is stitched all crooked. So in the middle portion there, where that little tab is attached to, it's kind of lumpy on both sides. And she says, oh my gosh, the stitching is off. You can see that the stitching isn't straight. There's like this kind of burnt, melted part of the stitch at a certain point, and it's all lumpy. It's all crooked. You can see, I mean, in that center part right there, on both sides, it kind of is wavy. She's like, what the hell? This is like so terrible for that amount of money. Because by this point, the bag also went up in price too. It's not like, you know, these bags just cost the same for years on end. No, they keep going up in price. So she says, Louis Vuitton messed up. And okay, here I wrote down what Claire said in the video, that the bag, including the tax in Florida, now by the time she made this video, went up in price, and including tax, cost $3,177.90. And then you get this quality. for $3,177.90. So then Claire inspects the bag some more and notices that bump. So they lost the old bag and they gave her a new damaged bag. Then she went back to Louis Vuitton again and said, you guys, I can't accept this bag. And Louis at this point is like, okay, girl, just take here. They showed her another bag. This time they didn't wrap it up before she saw it. They showed her this one again, a new copy. She inspected it. She saw that the stitching was aligned. I mean, that was a straight line. And she said, finally, I got my bag. It took like what, almost a year, but finally Claire got her bag. This is drama. And I'm telling you why this is drama for several reasons. It's drama because for a person that is spending so much money, it's a very stressful situation to not feel safe in a brand like this. Meaning where the brand is like losing your stuff, not really giving you a committed answer, committing to a certain date when they're going to deliver something. They have your money already. They already have your money. But they're treating this whole situation like, oh, whatever, we'll deal with it when we deal with it. No, it shouldn't be like that. If you have an issue with a product that you spend so much money on and you're bringing it back, they have to commit to certain dates, repair times, repair dates. They didn't even send it back to Europe. She said that they sent it to California to their repair manufacturing, whatever places they do. So the bag was always in the States. It didn't even have to do some weird during lockdown transatlantic transfers to be repaired in Europe. No, it was supposed to be repaired in California, as she mentions that the bag was still in repairs in California. The green one that never came back. And then they lose the bag. They don't contact her properly. They don't send her an email. Sales associates randomly disappear, coming back and forth. Then after all this stress, you finally get an okay from the store manager to get a new bag, and then they wrap it up and give it to you. You don't even get to look at it first. Like, if I were the store manager, I would inspect the bejesus out of that bag before giving it to Claire, because I would know that she already went through all that stress waiting for her bag for months and months and months to come back, and she didn't get it back. And finally, we accept to give her a brand new bag. I would inspect the bejesus out of that bag out of principle. And instead, no, they just throw some bag in a box and send it off to her or give it to her, and then she comes home, unboxes it, super happy to unbox it for us in her video, unboxes it, and then it turns out that the bag is faulty again. I mean, like, Louis, step it up. Louis, Louis, you gotta step it up. This ain't it, girl. For all the price increases you're delivering, this quality or lack thereof just ain't it. Just ain't it. So I think, Claire, thank you so much for highlighting this problem in your video on your channel. I hope that by me making this video, I can raise some awareness about this as well. Both raise some awareness about Claire's channel, but also raise awareness about Louis so that we can spread the news. Everybody should be awake. Be careful. I love my Louis Vuitton. I love my canvas. I'm going to keep buying it till the day I die. I just love it. It's super sturdy and great. But just be aware when you go into the, inspect the edges, the corners, the stitching, the zipper, the leather, the inside, that, inspect it. Because obviously nobody's guaranteeing you premium quality anymore. Now, when you get a piece that's properly produced, then they're amazing. They're going to last you a lifetime. But for those faulty pieces that they have from time to time, there's no need for us customers to have to deal with that. That's their shit. That's their problem. They should freaking deal with it. And I was talking to Foxy LV. By the way, go follow Foxy LV on her Instagram. The living vocabulary of Louis Vuitton. And I was talking to Foxy just a couple of days ago in another video we did together. And she said, yeah, Dacob, they're not doing proper quality control anymore. They're not paying people. They're cutting budgets by basically firing almost their entire quality control department. Just they don't care about that anymore. So then things like this happen when you don't care about quality control anymore. And we have to raise awareness about this. And the more we raise awareness about this, and the more we have a chance at things changing. Because it's not like I'm standing here telling you Louis Vuitton is a terrible brand. I love it. I keep buying Louis Vuitton, but I just think that their attitude is terrible. They're not investing in the right places. They should reinvest again in quality control. Otherwise, why the hell are you raising your prices all the time? For what are you raising your prices if we don't get anything in return? If I have to kind of poker every time if I order your stuff online, I'm always scared that I'm going to get damaged goods. And if I go to the boutique, I'm like there sitting like a total idiot with a magnifying glass inspecting the piece. Heaven forbid it were to have a rip or a tear somewhere. That shouldn't be the case, Louis. Your customers should have peace of mind that when they purchase with you, that they trust you to deliver quality controlled luxury goods. And not what you do deliver most of the time, or in many cases, which are luxury priced goods with very poor quality control. That's not luxury, my dear Louis Vuitton. That ain't luxury. So anyway, Mimi Morrison says, well said, Dacob. Let me play the outro as we read the comments of you guys. Stephanie says, I think I would be seeing red. I would be berating the managers so badly in the store, says Stephanie. Debbie says, luxury is in the name only, not the goods or service anymore. Andrea says, the attitude is no different than any other premium brand these days. Yeah, it's getting more and more that way, isn't it? Pretty soon it's all going to feel like H&M. Or Zara. Everywhere you go, it's going to feel the same, but just the price range is going to be higher. Sharon says, you should not have to inspect the bags. They should be on point at all time. Iris says, I cannot see how the luxury brands which dismiss quality control on their products and manners sometimes will survive in the future. Honestly, I think, Iris, that's a really good point, but I think they will survive because as long as there's these nouveau riche, the new rich that just want to show off that they have a logo or a brand, they're not going to care about quality because they don't even know what quality is. So they're just going to wear it, selfie, show it off, and throw it away and move on to the next piece because heaven forbid they were to be seen with the same piece twice when out and about. So if you're going to go by that mentality of wearing an expensive luxury item just once for one outing and then never again, then of course you don't need quality. Then you need the thing just to be photo ready. You need it for one photo and done, moving on to the next piece. And this is what a lot of people do these days, unfortunately. And this is why we have this terrible situation of brands producing 10 to 20 collections a year instead of just 2 or 4, because, you know, people that do have that money, those funds, they just need always new, the newest, because they have to keep showing off that they can afford it. And heaven forbid they were to wear it twice. So there's that issue as well, that a lot of these objects are made with the behind thought that they won't be worn too much anyway. So there's that issue as well. And that has to change, but that can only change if the consumer mentality changes. If the consumer starts loving the pieces and wanting to use them as much as possible, and doesn't keep rushing back to the brand every week to keep buying new just to stay, you know, with the flow and have the newest always. Well, when that changes, when people stop rushing to keep buying the newest, then the situation will change as well. Then quality control will return, because then also, you know, they won't be selling as much anymore. Bin Black says mass production. Deborah says too much money is spent for poor service. That's awful. Jane says peace of mind. Yes, if a mistake happens, we need to feel we will be looked after kindly. That's exactly it, Jane. That's exactly my point. I have to, you know, like sometimes, even with Chanel, sometimes I feel really bad. Like if there's a flaw with something, I'm like, oh no, now I go back and they're going to hate me because they're going to call me. You see, that whole mentality is terrible, because now these luxury brands are making you believe that it's your fault that they made a faulty product, because they're going to make you feel bad for returning it. Why are they going to make you feel bad? Because they're going to play that game of you're a complicated customer. So next time when you order another piece, we're going to think twice before we confirm the order for you. And this whole situation has to change, especially because of the prices we're paying. Now, I know that a lot of these brands just say, well, it's luxury prices. What do you want? It's like, you know, just because we're charging you so much doesn't mean that we have to deliver extra services for it. This is the price that these things cost. Take it or leave it, baby. But I don't agree with that, because I know that they keep going up in price so often and so many times that I do believe that a big chunk of that price that I'm paying for these luxury products, a big portion of that price goes into me having that peace of mind. No matter when I bring it back in, if there's a flaw with it, I will be taken care of. And I have a feeling that in many cases that's just not the case anymore. You don't feel good going back to the boutique with a flawed item, because you feel like they're gonna kind of look at you like, did you do that? Yeah, but if you really want to bring it back, there might be more complications of getting you new stuff in the future, you know, and I hate that. But I feel that way as well, and I feel like the brands are luxury brands are trying to push that onto us. Some, not all. Anyway, this is an interesting conversation topic for sure, also to be had in the future. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment sections down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, never forget to never give up on love. Bye.